Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Mr. McClintock began by apologizing for Mr. Johnson's statement, and I want to begin by apologizing for Mr. McClintock's statement because he said something that must have been very painful to the young people on the panel when he said that the Dreamers are stranded without a country and they don't even know their own country. And I want to say with Mr. Cicilline, I was listening to you guys. I was filled with pride and admiration for what you've done. And I want to tell you that this is at least one member of Congress who knows that this is your country. This is where you belong, and it is the only country that you know. And we're going to fight for you to stay here and to adjust your legal status so you can be permanently and indefinitely part of America. James Madison said that America would be an asylum to the persecuted and oppressed of people of all religions and nations. Tom Paine said we would be an asylum for humanity, a haven of refuge for people fleeing oppressive circumstances from around the world. So I look at you and I see in you all of the hope of this great country. I see my children. One of you is going to be a doctor. I have a daughter who wants to be a doctor. One of you is an historian, on her way to being a historian. I've got a son who may want to be an historian, maybe a lawyer too, maybe an historian and a lawyer. One of you is working in corporate America, and I've got a daughter working in corporate America, and I am so proud of her, and I'm so proud of what all of you have said today. Now, I'd like to give each of you guys 15 seconds, but I'm going to hold you to it because we're on strict time limits here, to tell us what America means to you. What does America mean to you? Mr. Park, let's start with you.
Thank you, Congressman, for your question. America, to me, it's home. And I don't think that my achievements have nothing to do with the fact that I've grown up here and I've made deep and profound connections to the people and the institutions and to the practices here.
Thank you. Ms. Chiazzullo.
America, to me, has meant promise. As a historian, I think about many women whose histories of progress has created a much better society for all of us, and so I look forward to being able to make my own contributions in that way.
Thank you. Ms. Irazoque-Ruiz.
The United States is my home. I've been here since I was 3 years old, and I don't know any other place other than this. I went to public school here, I went to UNM, I'm at the medical school there, and I want to provide medical care in the state of New Mexico. I don't know anything other than this place.
Thank you. And Mr. Yanez.
Yeah, to me, America means that, a kid who was homeless, despite the obstacles he faced, he believed in the American dream. I believe in freedom, prosperity, working hard, standing on your own 2 feet, and that's exactly what this country has provided for me.
All right. Well, I thank you all for those eloquent, heartfelt statements. Mr. Palma, let me ask you. You're here, I know, under TPS, and I have tens of thousands of people in my district who are under TPS. We have a lot of people from Salvador, from Honduras, from Guatemala, who fled the civil wars and the authoritarianism and the death squads, in which, of course, America was implicated in the 1980s, and who are here part of our country. Please, if you could also hold to 15 seconds.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think America, to me, is a welcoming place where you can have an opportunity and set the future generation to even a better path than yourself. That's, to me, the American I believe.
Very good. Mr. Graham, let me come to you about the Dream U.S. You have devoted yourself to people in their situation, to dreamers, to young people who are here. They're in high school here. They grew up. Many of them went all the way K through 12 in America. Some of them in the armed services. Some are working. But your group, as I understand it, is giving scholarships to people who otherwise wouldn't be able to get them because of their status. You give, I think I saw you testify, you've given away, tens of thousands of them. But how many kids do you have to turn away? Give us a sense of the numbers.
We have about, thank you, Congressman, we have about twice as many applicants. We have no advertising budget, so students have to find us. And we're a new program, but we turn away about an equal number to what we grant.
I think you're going to be getting a lot more applicants now that you've testified for the first time
Well,
before
here's
Congress.
hoping, because there's so many dreamers and so many TPS students are wildly successful in college. They're told they can't get there. Once they get in, they perform magnificently.
Okay, and
The
finally,
time of,
oh,
the time of the gentleman has expired.